The incident occurred on August 16, 1917, during the Battle of Third Ypres. The following day, Brigadier General Stringer issued an informal board of inquiry consisting of Captain K.J. Purvis, the medical officer of 26th Midland Scottish Battalion, and Captain J.J. O'Brien, the brigade padre. This procedure was highly improper. The choice of Father O'Brien implies that rumors of a miracle were circulating already. Apprehension of a suspected spy should certainly have been reported at once to division headquarters, and from there it should have been relayed to Corps and Army, and eventually GHQ. In this case, there is considerable doubt that the news ever reached higher than the brigade level. Published dispatches and official histories contain no mention of the bizarre affair. Apart from a few cryptic comments in some of the diaries and letters of the period, the only documentary evidence resides in the Stringer family archives. The 4 witnesses were examined separately. All 4 were privates in C Company of the Royal Birmingham Fusiliers, which officially had been held out of the battle on the 16th. All 4 were either 18 or 19 years old, and all from the Midlands. Stretcher-bearing duty, to which the 4 had been assigned, was little less hazardous than combat. They had been on their 4th mission of the day and had been under fire almost continuously. Without question, they were all physically exhausted. Their mental and emotional condition should be borne in mind when evaluating their evidence. Of the 4 accounts, that of Chisholm is the most detailed and seems the most convincing. He was the eldest by a few months. He had been a printer's apprentice and had benefited from 2 more years' education than the others, Privates W.J. Clark, P.T. White, and J. Goss, who had all left school at 14. Considering the danger, the inhuman conditions, and the extreme fatigue under which they had been laboring, the witnesses' evidence is remarkably uniform. They disagree on a few minor details, but, as the board observed in its report, completely identical accounts would be cause for suspicion. They had paused for a rest in the lee of a fragment of masonry wall, probably the remains of a church which the maps showed in approximately that location. Over the roar of the heavy guns they could hear the repeated ping of bullets and shrapnel striking the stones. From time to time a shell would come close enough to spray mud at them. They lay in pairs, 2 men on either side of a flooded shell hole. Chisholm later claimed that he had risen to his knees and called on the party to start moving again. None of the other 3 mentioned this, but in the racket and their own fatigue, they might not have heard or noticed. The important point is that Chisholm was apparently looking toward the rear at the crucial moment, and he insisted that the newcomer did not come from that direction.